the things that are hanging off our clothes. It says all of the above applies to an ornament which is fundamentally permitted to worn and taken out of the public domain, even while not attached to the garment. So this is from section 301, Siman Shin Aleph, Halacha 23. It says the necessity for it to be attached to the garment is only a result of a decree. Remember, we talked about the patches that they used to to force Jews to have on their clothes. So, lest it become detached and fall, if, however, one attached an article that is not made as an ornament, he stuck something to his jacket, but rather for a functional purpose, not necessarily for ornament, rather it's a functional thing. It remains an entity that is forbidden to take out to the public domain. The fact that the article is attached to the garment is not cause for license to take it out. So if you somehow attached your wallet into your jacket on Shabbos, you attached it before Shabbos, and you want to walk with it to the street, you're not allowed to.
It's still mixed.
Yeah, instead the article is considered as if it was unattached and separate from the garment. The rationale is that since the article has an independent functional purpose and does not serve the garment at all, it is not bottled, it is not nullified to the garment, even though the garment is far more important than the article as explained above. It maintaining its separate identity. When does the above apply? When the article attached to the garment has some importance vis-a-vis the garment, in comparison to the garment. If, however, it has no importance whatsoever in relation to the garment, for example, handkerchief that is used to wipe one's nose, it is considered bottle to the garment. What importance does the handkerchief has in comparison to the garment? Provided it is sewn onto the garment with at least 2 stitches. For 2 stitches are considered as binding garments together with regard to the prohibition of shatnez. It was made from a different type of fabric. It's already shatnez, just having 2 stitches of flax and linen and wool together. With regard to the prohibition against sewing on Shabbos also, if however a handkerchief is sewn to a belt, it is forbidden to go out to the public domain wearing it. Why? The rationale is that when considered in relation to a belt, it is important. Considered to the jacket or to the shirt, it's bottle, but considered to the belt, it's not bottle. When considered in relation to a belt, it is important and not nullified to it. Needless to say, it is forbidden to go out if the handkerchief is merely tied to the belt. Even if it is tied to the belt with a garment, with a permanent knot, that you're not allowed to walk around with it. Moreover, even if one wishes to tie this handkerchief as a belt over the other belt or under the other belt, it is not at all effective, because one may not go out with 2 belts, one on top of the other, as will be explained. So the point is obviously that we're dealing with a place where there's no aruch, and he wants to carry something attached to his clothes. It says the rule of thumb is if it's nullified to the garment, it's permitted, and if it's not, it's not permitted. So handkerchief will be nullified to the jacket, but not nullified to a belt. I guess those days the belts were not so expensive. Today you can have belts that are expensive, like fancy leather belt.
A lot of people, you got your belt on, and you're also wearing a girdle around your tzitzis, no?
If you're wearing it, it's something else. And you're using it, you need it. It serves. It has a function. The garter has a functionality. It does something. It's like wearing a cap. It has a functionality.
Okay.
But the handkerchief, it's not worn. It's merely attached to something. Right? You're not wearing it. Some people would put the handkerchief around their neck and tie it, so this way it serves something, and now they're allowed to walk around with it.
Okay.
I saw an interesting shaila whether a person is allowed to wear non-prescription sunglasses on Shabbos. because you don't really need them to see.
In Florida, it's pretty needed to.
I guess so.
In Florida, first thing I went to Costco, so you gotta have some.
One second. So a person who wishes to carry a handkerchief with him has no way of doing so except by tying it to the end of the belt on Friday with a permanent knot. This makes it into a long belt. He should gird himself with it, the newly lengthened belt. So he tied the handkerchief to the belt, and now he's tying the belt, that it's becoming like part of the belt. During the entire time he is walking the street, so that would be allowed. Similarly, it is forbidden to go out wearing patches that are tied to the straps of a hat so that one can use them to clean his eyes, because they do not become bottle to the hat.